My parents canceled my 18th birthday for my sister's tantrum, so I quietly moved out and watched their perfect life fall apart without me. The words came out of my mother's mouth like they were nothing. "Ethan, we need to cancel your birthday dinner tonight. Madison is upset about her scholarship application, and she needs us right now." I stood in the kitchen doorway, holding the cake I'd picked up myself that morning, watching my father nod in agreement without even looking up from his phone. My sister sat at the table, her perfectly manicured nails tapping the surface, a slight smirk on her face as she watched my reaction. The birthday betrayal was complete. I didn't cry, I didn't yell. I simply set the cake on the counter, turned around, and walked upstairs to my room. My hands were steady as I pulled out the duffel bag I'd hidden in my closet 3 weeks ago, the one I'd been slowly filling with my most important belongings. What my parents didn't know was that I'd been planning this moment ever since Madison's 16th birthday party, when they'd spent $12,000 on an event that looked like a celebrity wedding while my own 16th had been a dinner at Olive Garden, getting cold and calculating. I'd opened a separate bank account 6 months ago, one my parents knew nothing about. Every paycheck from the hardware store went directly into it. I'd been accepted to Wayne State University with a partial scholarship, and I'd secured a small studio apartment in downtown Detroit, paid for with my savings, and a part-time job I'd already lined up at a bookstore near campus. My lease started tomorrow, on my actual birthday, October 15th. As I zipped up my second bag, I heard Madison's voice drift up from downstairs. "Mom, can we order Thai food? I'm craving pad Thai." My mother's immediate response: "Of course, sweetheart. Whatever you need." The same woman who told me 2 months ago that we needed to cut back on expenses when I'd asked if they could contribute anything toward my college textbooks. I made 3 trips to my beat-up Toyota Corolla, the car I'd bought myself with money I'd saved from working since I was 15. Each time I passed through the living room, my parents were too focused on comforting Madison about her stressful day to notice me carrying boxes. My father had his arm around her shoulders. My mother was stroking her hair. The scene would have been touching if it wasn't so pathetically predictable. On my final trip, I stopped in the kitchen. The cake still sat on the counter, untouched. I picked it up and placed it in the refrigerator, next to the leftover lasagna from 3 nights ago. Then I pulled out the envelope I'd prepared and left it on the kitchen table, propped against the fruit bowl where they couldn't miss it. Inside was a single sheet of paper with 3 sentences. "Thank you for teaching me that I can only rely on myself. Don't try to find me. I'll reach out when and if I'm ready." I walked out the front door at 6:47 p.m. on October 14th, 2023. I didn't slam it. I didn't look back. I simply got in my car and drove away from the house on Maple Street, where I'd spent 18 years being second best. My phone was already turned off, the SIM card removed and snapped in half. I bought a new phone with a new number that morning, one that only 3 people had: my boss at the hardware store, my new boss at the bookstore, and my roommate from the university forum who'd helped me find the apartment. What my narcissistic parents didn't know was that I'd been documenting everything for the past 6 months. Every forgotten promise, every canceled plan, every time they'd chosen Madison over me. I had a journal filled with dates and details. I had photos of Madison's expensive gifts next to my practical budget items. I had bank statements showing the difference in what they'd spent on each of us. I wasn't planning to use any of it yet, but I kept it all neat and organized in a folder on my laptop. The drive to my new apartment took 45 minutes. The studio was small, barely 400 square feet, but it was mine. I'd furnished it slowly over the past month with items from thrift stores and Facebook Marketplace. A used couch that was surprisingly comfortable. A desk I'd sanded down and repainted myself. A bed frame I'd assembled from IKEA. The walls were bare white, but I'd already bought posters and photographs to make it feel like home. As I unlocked the door and stepped inside, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. My phone, the new one, buzzed in my pocket. It was a text from Derek, my new coworker at the bookstore. "Happy birthday, man. First shift tomorrow at 9. Ready to start your new life?" I texted back, "More ready than you know." I didn't sleep much that night. I kept expecting to hear pounding on the door, to hear